Hey, what's up, y'all? Marjack79 here, and we are finally ready to do our top 10 action figures of 2022. Yes, I am fully aware that it is now 2023 and I am extremely late. Thank you for bearing with me, but I was determined to get out a few reviews before I chose my top 10 figures of the year. So if you've been following my channel for quite some time, you know how this goes. I choose my top 10 figures based off of figures that I personally reviewed for this year. Is going to be my personal favorite choices. I don't care what any of your other top action figure reviewers chose. This is my choice. If you don't agree with it, that's cool. If you agree with it, fine. If you want to make your own list, then make your own list. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Number 10, the Jakks Pacific Sonic the Hedgehog E123 Omega. Yes, this was such an outstanding figure. When it comes to the Jakks Pacific Sonic the Hedgehog figures, I think they are at their best when they make the robot figures. This figure had the articulation of a Marvel Legend or a Black Series or even a McFarlane figure. This was outstanding. It was top notch. I couldn't believe that this $10 figure was able to give us so much. I mean, I was in pure shock, man. That is why it takes the number 10 spot. Number 9, Star Wars The Black Series, The Book of Boba Fett, Fennec Shand. You guys know how much I love me some Star Wars, man. So I had to at least pick one figure from Black Series from this year, and definitely by far my favorite was the Fennec Shand. She's easily one of my favorite characters from the shows. I think without her, the shows would have been a major failure, and the action figure did not disappoint either. When it came to the accessories she came with, the helmet, the face recognition, the articulation, I was flabbergasted on how good it was, and it was definitely a worthy placement into the museum. She will remain there forever. Number 8, the Lightning Collection, Power Rangers Zeo Yellow. I absolutely love this figure. This is easily, in my opinion, the best face recognition head sculpt for any of the Rangers in existence. I was flabbergasted on how good it was. I mean, when it comes to the Power Rangers, I think the figure arts for the Mighty Morphin will always be the pinnacle, but what Hasbro has done with this line for the vast majority of them have been top notch. When it comes to the sheer scope of Ranger figures, you know, Lightning Collection is definitely the #1 brand, and this is absolutely one of my favorites, if not the favorite from the previous year. Number 7, the Marvel Legends, the Mighty Thor, based off her appearance from Thor: Love and Thunder. Let's get one thing straight. I did not like this movie. I didn't like this movie one bit, but when it came to the action figures, the line produced some really decent action figures, and the Mighty Thor was easily the best from the line. From the accessories, from the Jane Foster head sculpt, looks just like Natalie Portman. It was almost shocking how good it was. I know that figure arts and Figma sometimes go over and create figures based off of these movies too, but what Marvel Legends gave us in the Mighty Thor is just absolutely substantially wonderful, and it was great. From the articulation to just everything about it, it was great. And that's why it takes the number 7 spot. Number 6, we have the NECA 2-pack Joe and Ellie based off of The Last of Us Part 2. This was a late review for me. I didn't actually get these figures in until January, but this was definitely one of the main ones that I wanted to do before I did my top 10, and this is why. These figures were absolutely stellar. I could not believe how good they were. This is absolutely one of NECA's best releases of the year. They are must-haves for any fan of The Last of Us. The accessories alone was worth the price of admission, but adding on the articulation as well, they're absolutely great. Number 5, the SH Figure Arts Gohan, based off of his appearance from Dragon Ball Superhero. When it comes to Gohan figures, this is the absolute pinnacle. I could not believe how good this Gohan figure was. The face sculpts to the head sculpts, the hair, how it stands up, the articulation. It doesn't get any better than this when it comes to the SH Figure Arts. And then at the price point that it was at, I think this was like $45 or so. This is a must-have for any Dragon Ball enthusiast for your collection. If you don't have this Gohan on your SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball shelf, then you're You really need to start questioning why you're collecting in the first place. Number 4, the Marvel Legends comic version, the Iron Spider. I absolutely love this figure. If y'all saw that review, you guys know that I'm a Spider-Man buff. This was definitely my favorite Spider-Man figure of the year by far. Posing this guy was so much fun. I loved the shininess of the figure. I love the posability. I had never had an Iron Spider in my collection before, so I really didn't have anything to compare it to. So just getting him in finally was just a dream come true for me. I've always loved this version of Spider-Man. That's why he takes the spot. It's a little bit biased, maybe, but like I said, it's my list, man. I love this figure. Number 3, the SH Figure Arts Krillin, the strongest man on Earth. This was easily the best remake of a figure that I got this year compared to the 1.0 Krillin. I couldn't believe it, man. It was so freaking good, from the destructible disc accessory to the articulation, just to the look of the actual figure. When it comes to Dragon Ball, we can get this type of quality on every single release. SH Figure Arts would definitely be the #1 action figure company in the world. This is some of their best work. Don't ever disrespect Krillin, because this figure was one of the best of the year by far. Number 2, the Marvel Legends Moon Knight, based off of the Disney Plus show series Moon Knight. Oh my God, man. When it comes to Marvel Legends, it didn't get any better than this figure this year. When it just comes to the aesthetic pleasingness, looks of the figure, it's top notch. I mean, you literally really couldn't tell the difference if this was a Figure Arts or a Figma, Hasbro. Marvel Legends absolutely outdid themselves with this figure. Probably a little biased too, just because the outfit of Moon Knight just looks so cool in general. So it definitely propels itself to the top of the action figure list as well. Just so good, man. The accessories were a little bit lacking, but it really didn't matter though. It would have been cool if we could have gotten a Mark Spector head sculpt as well. But just the look of the figure in general, just so freaking good, man. That's why it takes the number 2 spot. Honorable mentions 1 and 2, we have the Legacy King T'Challa, made by Marvel Legends, and the Ahsoka Tano, based off of her appearance from The Mandalorian, made by the Black Series. I love these figures. I really did. It was definitely a shock on how good the T'Challa ended up when it got into my hands. I really didn't plan on getting this figure, but once I looked at him in packaging store, I knew I had to bring him home. And I'm so glad I did, man. Just the overall improvement with the paint apps was just definitely made the purchase worth it, in my opinion. Good enough to crack the top 10. So since, you know, we've already had so many multiple versions of King T'Challa, but when it comes to Black Panther, I would say this is the pinnacle when it comes to the Marvel Legends. You know, when it comes to Ahsoka Tano, y'all should know by now that she is my favorite Star Wars character. Any version of her that gets made into an action figure is going to be added to a list somewhere. Definitely not good enough to make it into the top 10, but just my own selfish bias to add her into at least as an honorable mention somewhere. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at our #1 action figure for 2022. If you know me, you can probably already guess, but still, let's get to it anyways. Number 1, the SH Figure Arts Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. This figure right here is why I do this. This figure right here is why I collect action figures, why I have a YouTube channel. This figure right here is what ignites the passion of why I have been doing this for over 6 years now. This is it. I couldn't want anything more out of an action figure than what we have right here. It does not get any better than this. From the articulation to the aesthetics of the figure, it's just one of those figures when you're walking past a full collection room with hundreds upon hundreds of action figures, the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is going to catch your eye. That's all it is to it. It was perfect. I had no quarrels or qualms with it at all. The face sculpts and the hands and accessories. The only thing I wish it would have came with a bigger final shine blast. But the action figure aesthetics alone, outside of just the Vegeta character, were absolute perfection. And that is why it takes the #1 spot in 2022, Marjack 79's best action figures. Right. Now we are done. All right, my friends, and that is going to do it for this one. So as always, thank you for the support that I have gotten from my action figure family in 2022. I couldn't be more grateful for it. Since YouTube is so flooded with so many action figure reviewers now, if you chose to watch one of my videos from the previous year, or 2 or 3 or 5 or 20 of my videos, the gratitude is insurmountable. This is something that I never imagined that I could make an income from. And you guys, just by watching these videos, allow me to be able to continue to explore a passion that I have had since I was a 5-year-old boy. Making an income talking about action figures. Oh my God. Like, I know like a lot of figure reviewers don't really go into detail with the gratitude, but trust me, man, this is something that is a dream come true. I mean, obviously I'm not rich from YouTube or anything. I still have to work my 9 to 5s, but just to be able to do this and have a relationship with you guys, it means everything to me. Truly it does. This is the one job that I can say that I have, that I actually make an income from, that I can say that I truly love. And not a lot of people can say that. As always, my friends, 2023 is going to bring a new class of action figures, and I cannot wait to explore them with you guys. It's going to be fun. Make sure you stay tuned, you stay subscribed, hit that like button, or if you didn't like my choices, hit that dislike button too. It's cool, whatever. As always, my friends, you can follow me at youtube.com/marjack79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, my friends, I will see you guys on the next one. Catch you guys later. Bye.